Kelly, how are you? Greetings from Canada.
Hello, Bonnie. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Happy holidays. I guess we can already start saying that, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Our lights are already up. It's not Thanksgiving, but they're up and we're proud and they're on. Yeah.
You're proud and you're loud, and it's all good
Yes,
because
exactly.
honestly, this film totally put me in the holiday spirit. It is
Great.
so much fun, Kelly. Now, from what I understand, this is a little bit based on some reality from your life. Tell me a little bit about that because I had
Yeah.
no idea, being a Canadian here with lots of snow, that there's
Right.
actually a candy cane lane.
You're right. I mean, this, as magical and big as this movie is, it is kind of based on a true story, which is that my parents live in this little town called El Segundo, California.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, quirky little beach town right near LAX International Airport, a refinery, a water treatment plant, right? So it is this sort of wonderful place. And you said, you're used to snow. Growing up in Southern California, we just had sand.
Right.
So that was our experience of Christmas. In fact, when I was a kid, we would take our boogie boards to the beach and we would ride the sand dunes and pretend that we were on sleds, right?
Okay.
But it is a
Yeah.
personal story because my parents live up the street from Candy Cane Lane. My dad, who is a truck driver but a craftsman, he was always in the garage building things, carving things. He really got into the spirit and started decorating his front yard in really elaborate ways. And every year he would change his theme, and the neighbors on either side of him would ask for his hand-me-downs. And so his work started to spread down the block until, all the houses in between started to connect to really make a long candy cane lane.
That's amazing because there are people out there who really do decorate, like they take it real seriously.
Yes.
And it's nice that your neighbors, got the hand-me-downs, but there's families like they do have this kind of competition and, like who can put more lights up and more music. And, we
Right.
have here in Toronto, even where we drive around at Christmas, certain areas to see gorgeous displays. Like,
Yes.
do you have that in California as well? Like other areas that people are competing?
Well, I don't know if it's official competition, but I do know. I mean, I think it's maybe a Southern California thing because the weather here is always so good that
Right.
we always
Yeah.
tend to be outside. And so
Yeah.
it's really nice, especially around the holidays when the kids are out of school and everyone's getting time off of work, that we actually do want to be outside of our houses. And we do want to be out with neighbors. And so any excuse to do that, I think people will take. And I also just think people love the spirit of the holidays. I think,
Oh, for sure.
my intention with this movie was just to bring some joy. And I think the world really needs some joy right now. And I think that
Yeah.
people decorating their houses is a sign of them wanting to add some color and some magic and some twinkly lights
100%.
to their lives. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so you're writing this really hilarious film, and you get this no-name actor to star, this Eddie Murphy guy who never did a Christmas film
I
before, a
think he's going to
Holiday
have
film
a
before.
career. I think there's some
He might,
promise here.
he just
Yeah.
might. I have
Yeah.
to say, he's
Hmm.
very funny in this. So
Yeah.
when you were writing, first of all, did you envision any of these actors? Like, did you even know, like, I want Eddie Murphy to star in my film?
Well, and it's funny. So any project that I start that's an original project to me, I I'm all of the characters. I don't really know how else to start. It's because it tends to be based on me or my family or a situation I'm in or something I'm trying to grapple with or figure out. So I
Yeah.
tend to just write sort of who I know, not celebrities. But I mean, the minute I got the call that Eddie Murphy was interested in this role,
Yeah.
and then don't even get me started on Tracy Ellis Ross, Jillian Bell, Nick
Yes.
Offerman, Robin Thede. It's
Ken
Chris
Marino. I
Redd.
mean, yeah,
It
the
is,
cast
it's
is,
an embarrassment of riches.
yeah,
Yes. So,
yeah,
and one of my first conversations with Eddie is I asked him, I said, what does Christmas mean to you? And he said, it means everything.
ah,
And he shared with me how he celebrates the holidays, how his family is all around, how he makes ornaments. And so then once I got to know him and work with him, it really helped me with the character. So then I truly could write this character towards him.
yeah. And when you have such a comedic genius like that, and Ken Marino and Jillian, like
Yes.
all of them, how much, you know, as listen, the script is your baby, I get that. But when you have these improvisers, these funny people, Tracy
Yes.
Ellis Ross included, how
Yeah.
much are they allowed to kind of just, you know, tweak it a bit?
Well, I don't even think it's a question of allow. Like, there's no stopping him, right? Like,
Right.
it's just it's a wonderful comedy train, and just watching it go off the rails is one of the most wonderful experiences because having them take over is just delightful. I was lucky, very lucky to work with Reggie Hudlin, also a legend and our director.
Yes.
But he wanted me on set for every day of the shoot. I was right by his side, and he
Amazing.
would constantly turn to me and say, what about this? How do we punch up this scene? I would pitch new ideas, new lines, very collaborative with the actors as well. So it was an incredibly fun experience.
And it's such a visual treat. Like honestly, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, from the animation to the sets. Like, I mean, it's crazy good. When you saw the finished product, what did you think?
It was really uncanny because on the one hand, this felt like my life, a personal story. This is a family I know. This is a neighborhood that I've spent my time in, and my parents live there. On the other hand, it exceeded every expectation, my wildest dreams, anything that I could imagine. Everybody involved, from our incredible, production designer Aaron to everybody painting the smallest detail of the set. They brought such a part of themselves to it,
Yeah.
and they elevated it, and they just made everything magical. So it was like living in a snow globe for a period of time.
For sure. And the music is good. And then it's so wonderful to see pentatonics and everything. I mean, it's just,
Yes.
it doesn't miss a beat, no pun intended.
Right.
But I
Yes.
want to end because I got to know, what's your go-to Christmas song?
My go-to Christmas song. Well, I'm going to take a break from singing the 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah,
I've had enough of that. There's a lot of birds, right? It's a
the little
weird
water birds.
song.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, all the big songs that I love. I will tell you, I'm a sucker for Silent Night. I'm a
Beautiful
sucker
song.
for, at the end of the day, something that feels very at home, very peaceful, very quiet, and reminds you of all the chaos that you're going to see in this movie. I also love those very quiet, tender moments that we spend with our families.
100%. Well, listen, thank you for this hilarious film. It's beautiful, and
Oh,
there's a
great.
great message, obviously, too. And
Right.
it's just a great package. It's, kids and families are going to love this one. So thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it, Kelly. And happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to Canada.
Okay, take care.